Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Friday, October 18th, around 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. If you're looking for Comet, Tucson Atlas C 2023, it will still be visible as we move later into October, at least for the next several nights. You just need to find Venus and Arcturus and look between the two, and each night the position of the comet will be higher and higher. Well, that's if it's not snowing in your region. Keep calm. It's boom time. Here is an update on the Asheville recovery effort. The curfew is to be lifted on Monday. Parks are reopening. The latest update on water and schools. There is a boil advisory for water, although it is now flowing everywhere in Asheville except for a few places. Almost all the power is on, less than 10,000 without power from the hard-hit regions. Good news there. Bad news in Florida as it digs out. Mountains of sand swept in by back-to-back hurricanes. Take a look at this. In some areas, there are 5 or 6 feet of sand for acres and acres, thousands of them. It is going to take weeks, if not months, to remove this sand. Look at this couple trying to sit on a bench. And here is a home. This is absolutely tragic. There is tons of sand on these barrier islands, and it needs to be moved. And the big story is the season's first big snowstorm hitting the Rockies, and then it's going to be followed up by an atmospheric river in the Pacific Northwest. It appears as if fall is going to bring winter storm after winter storm. The National Weather Service is forecasting widespread snowfall ranging from 10 to 20 inches for the central and southern Rockies all weekend. And we'll have the full forecast in just a moment. But let's head over to the Northeast and Vermont's earliest foot of snow since 2010. That's 14 years of you'll never see snow, your kids will never see snow, all this fear-mongering. And well, today was certainly a treat. No tricks, thanks to a foot of snow near the summit of Jay Peak in Vermont. Take a look at them apples. Well, and the global warming goodness. Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! Al Gore is not happy with the snow. Ho, ho, ho. Hurricane experts warn another major storm has a good shot of taking Nadine's place as it fizzles. Nadine has broken apart. There is no chance this is going to do anything to the Caribbean or the U.S. Maybe a little rain here in the Caribbean. But potential tropical cyclone 15 has strengthened and may become Tropical Storm Nadine when it makes landfall early in the morning. Let's take a look at the track, which is taking it nowhere near anywhere. It's going to make landfall in central Belize and make its way into Mexico here, the Yucatan Peninsula, by Sunday. So no threat to us, only to Belize and Mexico. And now an article about the atmospheric river about to smash into the West Coast. It shows heavy rain and snow for British Columbia, Alberta, and Washington State. Yeah, this is Friday through Sunday, so heed the warnings. 5 to 10 inches in western Vancouver Island, 4 to 8 inches in Washington's Olympic Range, and very windy coast, so heed the warnings. Because a plume of moisture is going to extend from well out over the Pacific Ocean and be directed at southern British Columbia and the northwestern corner of Washington State. So heed the warnings, and let's take a look at the GFS model and see where the snow is going to be falling. In the next 3 hours, heavy totals for BC. You can see some of them in just 3 hours, 16 inches of snow up there. 6 hours from now, by morning, the southern mountains in the region where I live will have 16 inches of snow or more. And through the day tomorrow, that snow is going to build in the Pacific Northwest, specifically British Columbia and Alberta. And then take a look. Let's move this model through after the winter storm hits. We've got another atmospheric river. Looks like it's going to be hitting here at the end of October. And that is going to bring some significant snow for the ski areas. Good news. And here's the full forecast. Tranquil in the east, active in the western and central U.S. A strong cold front will continue pushing through the intermontane west. What have I done there? And the Four Corners through Saturday, that's my region, bringing heavy snow to the Rockies and gusty winds. It's feeling a little chilly. First fire of the season is lit. And to my left, winter storm warnings remain in effect for portions of Utah, Colorado, Montana. In the mountains, this storm system will also bring the potential for heavy rainfall and flash flooding to portions of the central and the southern high plains. I saw reports of it snowing in Zuni today, in New Mexico, at the Pueblo, as well as northern Arizona. How do you like them apples? Sporadic winter storm warnings and watches up for the region. And we do have some frost and freeze warnings up for the East Coast. Seismic update. No quakes of note. We do have a coronal hole that has coupled with Earth, driving us into low-level geomagnetic activity. We have some high-latitude aurora happening now. You can see here the BZ was pushed all the way south. The phi angle has shifted all the way to the north, and that has driven up density as well as plasma speed. And because it's a coronal hole, we should see increased seismicity, which we do not, which is good news. No big quakes as a result of this coronal hole now coupling with us. Worldwide volcano news for the day. We've got Sabancaya blasting a 22,000-foot puff, 20,000 feet for Sungay. We've got some new volcanoes on the list for today. Liwatobi to 9,000 feet. Take a look here. Ibu, an eruption sent ash up to 14,000 foot yesterday. And Sakurajima, sudden vigorous explosion showered the summit with glowing lava bombs, and a spectacular video is linked below if you want to check that out. No one was injured. Reventador, 14,000 foot, 500 foot puff. Sangay to 19,000. Fuego to 16,000 foot. Ibu to 11,000. Semaru, who knew? Now you do 14,000 foot puff. Liwatobi to 9. Ducono to 8, Santaguito to 13, Popo to 19 today, Sabancaya to 24, Nevado de Ruiz, 21,000 foot blast, Capahue, couple steam emissions there, Ducono to 9, Sangay to 20,000, Raventador, possible volcanic ash, Fuego the same, Karimshkai also puffing and passing, Ibu on the list, Semaru to 14, Popo again with 19,000 foot puff, Ducono to 9, on and on. What a list. Wrapping up worldwide volcano news for the day. Hey, hey. And now we'll continue over to space weather, where we can see the latest HMI intensity shows sunspots on the disk. Albeit that's the region we saw growing 2 days ago. Not much going on. Little pinpricks. No chance for an end of the world micronova, by the way. But we have had some sporadic, impulsive M flares, and we now have an enhanced solar wind stream flowing from a coronal hole, stirring up geomagnetic activity. That means aurora at high latitudes. Northern Canada should be seeing quite a show, as well as Greenland and Scandinavia. But for us peons that live in the warmer regions, probably not so much. And let's take a look at the 3-day geomagnetic forecast. All quiet on the Western Front. In fact, by the 21st, we may be psychic. Are you still trying to see that rare comet, Chuchuslan Atlas, aka A3, or however else you want to put it? There are so many ways to describe this comet. 2023, blah, 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 blah. There it is. C, 2023, Chuchuslan Atlas, or A3. However you want to look at it, the comet will be visible. It's the 18th. Here is the current position. Tomorrow it'll be a little higher, the 20th, and so on and so forth. So get out and look up. The only problem where I live is it's been raining for days, and it's going to continue to rain till Monday. Fun day. Have you heard climate change is harming young people's mental health? And it's all because of the mainstream media propaganda machine that's nonstop for 2 decades. Since I left academia, it has been nonstop. The lies, the fraud, the fake stories, the fear porn. This is all contributing to the destruction of our youth. You pump them up with a bunch of lies and fear about how the world is going to all be gone in 5 years. Greta Thunberg said the whole world would be dead in 5 years. That was last year. And now she's supporting Hamas, a terrorist group. I can't even make this up. We live in an idiocracy filled with lies and deceptions, and the majority of the population just gobbles it up. Like this headline, which came out today. And there are dozens, if not hundreds of others claiming that hurricanes are worse because of climate change. And not a single one of these authors or so-called journalists like Umarir Ifaran, DEI much, ever looked at the data. And the data is easy to access. In 1 minute, you could figure out that there is no increase in hurricane frequency, size, or anything. In fact, this year is one of the lowest recorded years for hurricane activity ever in recorded history. Can you believe that? It's so easy to get the data, but it's also so easy to get paid $250,000 a year to write crap like this. Thank you, Umareen Imhar, whoever your useless ass is. Now, good news. People are fighting back. CBS News was slapped with an FCC complaint after the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris was edited, which is illegal, by the way. They selectively edited Kamala Harris's interview to make her sound coherent and lucid when she was anything but. And in fact, it was so bad that 60 Minutes spliced her nonsensical answers and replaced it with a completely separate sentence that she said earlier in the interview that had nothing to do with the question. That's how bad this editing is. It's a complete fraud. Kamala Harris's campaign is a fraud. She didn't get a single vote from a single human. I have as many votes as Kamala Harris does for president. How come I'm not up there? Because I would actually answer questions. And how about this? Newsweek today, here is the headline: the collapse of Kamala Harris. Thank God. Now, if you follow our radio show, Lee and I will be on Revolution Radio and Studio B noon Mountain Time tomorrow discussing the origins of most meteorites that strike Earth and the fact that the mainstream media is lying about climate, but they're also lying about the fact that the major threat to our planet is an impact, not climate. We'll break it all down, and it will be replayed on Magnetic Reversal News, 8 p.m. We're also going to dive into the Phaistos disk, a 3,000-year-old enigma from Crete that has never been deciphered. What might it say? Is it even real? What do you guys think? All the links will be below to get you up to speed on what we will be discussing tomorrow on the radio show and replayed later on Magnetic Reversal News. Could we be approaching the night the stars fell from the sky? I hope so. And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share the video. We are shadow banned. We need your help to grow. Check the links below. We've got a preparedness store, long-term food storage, survival seeds, and more, all at the lowest prices and vetted for your preparedness, peace of mind. And it also helps the channel. It also helps if you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.